Hello, everyone, and welcome to another glorious TPKCON panel. This
Woo!
one was pulled together in less than 24 hours, so it will be the best thing you've ever watched, and you'll feel empty inside after it's over. Until like half an hour or an hour after we end, and you watch the Hats Off to Gygax baking panel and baking one shot, which the character names alone have me excited, but I'm not gonna spoil that. So I'm going to intro real quick the concept of this panel, which is pretty nebulous. We're gonna start with a conversation of the past of TPK and kind of how it started, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what we want for the future or any projects or plans we have for the future already that we want to talk about real quick, more than just a plug. As well, I thought this was a really good opportunity for people to ask questions about how we do what we do. We're not the best at what we do. There's things that we're always learning, and there's more things I want to incorporate and add.
How dare
Uh,
you?
Sorry. Like, just to call out, like, something that keeps me up at night is I really want to enable captions, but with our setup and with how things go, it's really hard to grasp. So, those are things to think about. If you have any questions, throw them at us. How I wanted to start is instead of doing a normal intro, I would like you to intro yourself and then also tell us how you heard about TPK and how you got started and kind of that story real quick. So we'll start with Tyrant.
Everyone, Tyrant. You can find me on Twitter at Dr. Tyrant. Um, I found TPK through one of the targeted advertisements that Cole and Luca put out there. I found it on Instagram, and we have multiple you know multiple of those across all the different social media platforms. But mine, I was just scrolling and didn't really have anything to do. It was, peak COVID season. Uh, so I was just scrolling through Instagram and I saw a ad about Dungeons and Dragons and hey, come play, hang out with us. And I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. Joined and I think I my first one shot was not too long after that, and ever since then it's just kind of snowballed.
Awesome. EG?
Hey, that's me. Um, hey, I'm EG Critical. Once upon a time, me, Cole, and a bunch of other people played Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition. Fast forward to like 2 years of that, and then another year off, and then we decided to play Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Fast forward like half a year in front of that, or was it like 2 months actually? 3 months maybe?
I don't remember. A couple
I
months.
It might have been even shorter. And then fast forward into that, and then we played Dungeons and Dragons TPK edition. Um, and then here we are. We've been here ever since then.
Great.
Anything else I need to add to this?
I'll have you expand after this first round. So Sarah's next.
Hello, I am Osirix Franco. I found TPK, one of my very dear friends who I played D&D with in real life. Luca Locke got involved in the community. As Tyrant said, the COVID hit hard, and I just really wanted to play more D&D or TTRPGs in general. And she was like, "You need to just come hang out here." And it started just watching some of the streams and hanging out in the chat, joining the Discord, and eventually caving to peer pressure. So glad that I did. It's been wonderful, not only playing but DMing on TPK and getting to know everybody. It's such a great community, and I'm really grateful to be a part of it.
Awesome. Turkey Turk.
All right. I am Turk. I also joined TPK through an Instagram ad, which is not what you expect to be doing on a random Thursday evening. But hey, I really want to play D&D. I just moved to Boston, and all my real life friends weren't really as into it as I was. So Had a lot of free time. Had a lot of interest in the genre, and also really like the idea of streaming and being involved in the Twitch community. So it kind of just made sense. Thought I'd give it a shot. If it was weird, if a bunch of weird people, then yeah, I wouldn't lose anything. So no, I'm really glad I stuck around. My first one shot was one of Cole's mystery one shots. I shot a witch with a key with catapult, and I think the rest is kind of just history.
It's very much TPK history. So to go back around again in overlay order for this one again, real quick. What? So if you saw an ad or someone talked to you about it, what made you want to stream D&D? We get some people that kind of stumble upon the community and then they realize, oh, this isn't just D&D for fun, this is streaming. So what intrigued you about that, and how did you kind of, if you had any hesitation, get over that hurdle, starting with Tyrant?
I think initially there was no real hesitation. I was active on Twitch watching and talking to other streamers, and some of my friends have streamed, and so it's not necessarily this daunting thing that or at least in my mind. But definitely once that first one shot came up and I was sitting there beforehand, it was definitely a kind of a nerve-wracking experience being on stream, in a setting that's not my own. It's different. But I think just how open and collaborative everyone else is, and how accepting, and it's very much you may be nervous, but everyone's going to be there for you, and so that's kind of what really helped me get over my nerves.
Cool. EG?
I don't know. D&D is pretty weird. My only experience playing D&D was streaming. I've never actually played D&D before, with all this. And like I don't have anyone in IRL world that will play D&D with me. A pure tragedy. I'm gonna have to start posting on like places once quarantine is over, to be able to gather nerds around to like just to play D&D. I'm gonna have to start paying people to like come to my house and like play D&D with me. But anyway, yeah, like I don't know. What can I say? I think from the beginning we were all streamers to begin with, and then like just add D&D into the mix, and then
yeah, you and I definitely streamed for a long time outside of D&D and with D&D as well, so that would be Sarah next.
So I streamed on Twitch before, and was getting really active in that setup and we had actually been streaming Luca's Curse of Strahd campaign, just because scheduling, normally we played in person, but scheduling became such a pain that we decided to actually switch to online, because it's easier. You don't have to like go to someone's house and get all gathered around, though I do miss in real life D&D so much. There's something magical about the snacks and the energy and all of that. But so I was already familiar with streaming, and the thing that got me into D&D in the first place is the Adventure Zone. I'm a basic bitch. I do not care. I make no apologies for it. But what I loved about it was you're getting to share a story and get to interact from both, like from an audience perspective, and I loved that, and I really wanted to experience that from the other side, from the storyteller side, and to see not only players' reactions but like reactions at large, because I think that gives like the story momentum and personality and all of that. So when the opportunity came up to start streaming and being a part of, the storytelling process, it was like a no-brainer. Like, hell yeah, let's do this. And it's been like such an amazing opportunity to, in a just garbage year, to explore like the different facets of creativity and get to know people and all of that stuff. So I think it was any initial concerns or nervousness around like, oh my God, strangers on the internet, it quickly went away because of just how supportive the community is and how much fun it is to create with this group.
Awesome. Turkey Turk.
Yeah, so my first ever experience with D&D and Twitch, where it happened at the same time, in that through a lot of other reasons, I joined a game that was exclusively going to be streamed through Roll20. So I kind of was thrown into the fire on both accounts there. And I mean, there's a lot of clips out there of a young Turk figuring out D&D and not understanding a lot of concepts, but going through it anyway, and the first funny voices and all that. Just and then after that, I mean, obviously, I continued to play D&D, IRL D&D, and I think the difference when you're coming into it, even especially comparing online games, because with streaming, it's almost inherently always going to be an online game. Um, uh, when you go into a normal online game versus a stream game, I feel like the stream game, everyone's kind of collectively like, okay, we need to maybe take it up a notch, like be collectively better and work together and figure it out. Especially, you know, uh, not necessarily saying there's like a culling of people, but if someone's not working with the group, then I think everyone else can't be so much like, oh well, we brought him in and feel kind of bad letting him. You just go, hey, you're not really working with what we got, so you need to go or something like that. Sounds a little mean, but
I
yeah,
get what you're saying though, right? You're saying that it's easier to create like-minded
yes.
player groups.
When you go into a streamed online game, I think you're almost guaranteed that everyone there is going to be like all agreeing to be the same amount of invested, the same amount of into it and paying attention, not only because they want to, but because they know that's what's going to make something entertaining to watch. So yeah, started out streaming, gonna die streaming.
If you hear snoring, it is my dog. She loves spending time with me when I'm working in the office throughout the week. So now she just thinks it's a normal day. So she's out cold. Cool. So now that we kind of have an intro into how you guys got started and how you feel about streaming and everything, the majority of this panel can be super open to chat questions. So if you have chat questions, go ahead and throw them out. Basically anything TPK related. If you've ever had questions and want to hear them answered live, that's cool. I usually tell like the story of how TPK got started when we do like GM onboardings or any player onboardings and things like that. But I don't know how often I've told it actually to viewers. So EG mentioned a little bit of it. We had a streaming campaign with a bunch of other people who were already streamers playing 4th edition. As D&D does very often, it fell apart randomly and we just stopped having sessions. So I started a campaign on my own personal channel and I kind of just wanted more, and I had seen other channels that were hosting kind of multiple sessions and things like that, but they always seemed like really unattainable. Like only people that they selected could basically play with them. So I approached EG and the other guys of that campaign. I was like, hey, I'm thinking of making this a whole thing in like a company. What do you guys think? And this campaign would move over to that channel. So they were all down for it. And one of the things I wanted to do out of the gate was try to give as many people an opportunity to play D&D and stream it as possible. And that's why you'll see, like, sometimes we do have, you know, technical issues, or we have people who don't have the best setups, but we've been working with them to work through that and get them to a place where they do have good setups. So I also, out of the gate, wanted to be sure that everyone involved was paid as fairly as possible. It seems to me from the outside that a lot of these bigger streams, some few people were able to be successful a lot easier than others, and that didn't seem fair to me. So if you didn't know, everyone splits everything equally pretty much, and it's very heavily player and GM weighted compared to the company weighted, and that was a big thing that I wanted at the start. So that is how TPK started. Hi, Luca, welcome. We were talking so many nice things about you before.
So many nice things.
How Luca, since she's not in here, got started in the TPK situation is I was streaming Subnautica, and she was nice enough to hang out with me a bunch. And I started this thing, and then she was just there from day one. And now she probably works harder than me, but don't tell anyone I said that. So we're great to have. We're glad to have Luca. All the designs and promos and things like that you see, she put together and designed. So without you guys and everyone here on this call and Luca, there would not be TPK. So, as I said, if you have any questions, this is a very good panel to throw them out. I get a lot of messages randomly from people asking how we do certain things, and I'm always willing to answer those messages and be super friendly and tell you, like, all the secrets. It really hurts, though, when someone messages me to ask me the questions and then they leave and never talk to me again. That has happened.
I will take this knowledge and use it for my own personal use. Goodbye.
Yes, that has happened.
I've gotten what I wanted. Goodbye.
But I'll still answer it, so that's just who I am. Until we get any chat-specific questions, what do you guys have coming up that you're super excited about, that you kind of just want to talk about a little more and tell the people about?
Okay. I am really excited for this Halloween event that we were putting on, the 14 Days of Halloween, which Cole, have we announced that yet?
No, we still have 1 or 2 days to solidify, and after we get through TPKCon is when, like, October hype happens. So
okay, this is the second panel I've talked about it on, and I don't know if you're mad at me about it, but okay. But
it's on I'm
just so excited.
It's on the website, and we are stoked about it. So
okay,
squad's on the way over.
Cool.
Just don't resist.
Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff happening during that. I'm sorry, Luke. You can be mad at me. You're not here, so. I am going to be DMing a one shot for that. That is going to be kind of the anti D&D experience. All of the players are going to be playing monsters, and I get to play the adventuring party, and it's going to be really kind of fun and spooky and goofy. Besides that, we have this incredible Monster of the Week campaign that is just starting. I think the video will probably be up on YouTube soon, if not already. And that was an incredible experience. Sarah's in that with me, and a lot of good emotions from it already. And then
mostly screaming.
Yeah, mostly screaming. The Harper's campaign is coming close to the end of season 1, which is terrifying and sad, but also Luca needs a break, so let's get this done.
Luca needs a break, but for some reason scheduled in, like, off-story wrap-up missions, because
Hell yeah,
she can't stop.
She's a glutton for pain.
Can't stop, won't stop.
But no, what are you guys excited about?
EG, you want to go next?
I took a really big hit with work starting again, but one day I'm going to attempt to play my custom game one day or another. We'll grab a cast and we'll get ready to run through the world of Alderaan and explore the cataclysmed, destroyed continents that have separated. And then we'll see how it goes. That's really all I got for that. Other than trying to maybe playing in the one shot here or there. So yeah. Thanks for the raid, folks.
Yeah, thank you
raid.
so much.
Welcome, Master of Rem and your friends. If you have any questions or anything, throw them at us. This is a impromptu panel for our 2-day TPKCON event. So we have content from now until 6 hours from now or something like that, with baking and all sorts of other awesome stuff coming up. But I believe that's Sarah next.
Yeah, so what am I excited about? Definitely Harper's. We're getting into the finale. We're getting into like these hugely like epic moments. What are we, level 18 now, which is absolutely insane. But it's so hype, so much fear and so much excitement. I'm absolutely in love with this campaign. Monster of the Week as well, a new system. It's very, very good. That's been a pleasure. I'm very excited to continue the Bard's Refrain, which is my campaign once a month here at TPK. It's been incredibly rewarding to just have my hijinks and have a group of players that is on board, and I'm very excited to continue that and start building out the world and pull my characters a little bit more into it. I know we have just so much stuff going on in October, but I'm really looking forward to all the different opportunities to participate in those things.
Right. So I obviously am excited for my one shots coming up. Just both are, well, one basically tried to put together a one shot I remembered playing a while ago and ended up just making my own thing, which is great. I don't know if it's going to work, but it's also going to be really fun because we have 6 players, which is going to be a lot, but gotta get that good challenge where you can get it. Then after that, got the spooky, scary kind of, not technically part of the 14 Days of Halloween, which is not an official thing announced yet, but got, you know, a little spooky, scary thing from Arcane Library. Always excited to run anything by them. They're awesome people. Gotta support them. And then beyond that, obviously, I cannot say, I cannot, add on to the pile of Harper's hype enough. Bard's Refrain is amazing. The one monster one shot, I am. Oh, it literally just. I'm very excited for no specific reason. I'm not doing anything special for that, but you know, and then beyond that, in the future, just continuing to do crazy one shots, joining in games and playing stuff, and you know, I looking at new systems even beyond D&D. I've been really digging Lancer right now. Eventually, you know, everyone's kind of murmuring about Zwei Handler and figuring that out, and you know, just checking all this new shit out and going from there and seeing what people are into, and if it sticks and people like it, carrying it forward.
Awesome. All right, so I do things from time to time. I am still DMing in as much as I say that I'm going to stop eventually.
Never stop.
I secretly, to only my knowledge, technically revealed a connected world yesterday. So some of you might remember a one shot that was based in Gothic Earth where the players got to meet Sherlock and
Don't remember none of that.
solve a paranormal mystery. Well, yesterday, if you were here, there was another one shot that ended up with the players on the shore of that same city. So I don't know why I keep torturing myself, but I guess I am in the process of developing the Sherlock investigations.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I will not make any promises to when the next thing happens or how the structure will be, but it is now technically a sort of thing. Other than that, I DM for Truly Evil, which is in a lot of kind of sand brew home building and world building type area right now, which is very interesting. And then I play in our TOA campaign where I have already died. So get to meet my new character this Tuesday night. I totally had my next question for you guys to follow up. I always, as I said, get a lot of questions about how we do what we do. So chat if you have any questions, throw them at us. But for the panel, and I'll try to answer it not in a boring manner. Have you guys ever had any like pressing questions in the back of your mind where you were just like, how did we do that? And if it's about the rotating names on the overlay that we sometimes have, you have to ask Luca how she sets it up. And
I know the answer to this because she taught me.
yes, it is very easy to set up in slobs once you get the file from her, but how she does the file is magic, as she said. So yeah, have you guys ever had any questions just nagging your brain?
I mean, a lot, yeah. I mean, there's obviously so many things that when you're not initially involved in something and people invite you and you kind of see behind the curtain and there's a lot of different intricate pieces and moving parts that you didn't know about. Do I still currently have questions? No, not really. I think a lot of it has been explained pretty well. I think the stream setup stuff was probably my biggest thing. Working with Luca on getting that file and everything set up was kind of difficult for me because I'm ill-equipped for streaming on my current
It's a dirty Mac user.
laptop.
Gross.
Disgusting. We let everybody on streams except for Mac users.
Yeah, we might have to write it into the bylaws that there's no Macs allowed because
PC Master Race.
We get rid of JK too.
It's been nice knowing you. No, I right now there's no like burning questions in the back of my head.
Anyone else?
Yeah, actually, I do. So this is kind of a larger TPK question, and I think it's something that the TTRPG community is kind of looking at large. But I would be curious, what plans or ideas do we have of getting more diversity in our cast and our GMs? You know, finding I'm here for stories, and I know a lot of folks are, and making sure that we have voices at the table that represent, you know, people of color, different sexualities, different genders, and making sure that we're balanced. I know it can be challenging, but I'm wondering if there's anything in the works to try and make it so we bring more of those folks to TPK to make it sure that we're you know, we're telling the stories of everyone, not just you know, white girl Sarah.
Yeah, definitely. So as I kind of talked about at the start, it is open to anyone to join. So if you in the chat have any friends that you think are great characters or would be interested in streaming D&D or anything, definitely let us know. We have actively reached out to a wide variety of people. Sometimes it works, but a lot we found that when we actually, I don't know why, for some reason directly comment to someone, hey, we think you should join this, they don't as often. Our number one drive for new people is always referrals and the Instagram targeted ads. So I would love to have a lot more diversity and representation. So my question is if anyone has, you know, has any advice for us or any suggestions, that I am 100% open. And if you want to DM me on the side, on Twitter or Discord or wherever, I'll definitely be an ear to listen, and I'm so willing to help out with that because I think it's really important. If you didn't know, TPK is very progressive, I would say. We raised a good amount of money for Color of Change. I am very, very about a lot of the movements that are going on now. We're very accepting LGBTQ plus community. Another question that might get asked in that regard is why we don't use that tag, which I've thought about a lot. I have told GMs that are LGBT, if they want to add that tag, 100% go for it. But doing a lot of research, I found that most often people in that community want that tag to be reserved for people who are part of that community and not just allies. So that's my stance I've taken on it, is to save it for the people who are actually in that community. There's a lot of opinion on that, but that's just why we don't put the tag on every stream, if that makes sense. Does anyone else have anything they want to say about that?
No, I think you said it pretty well. I do think it's important that we create a space where people feel comfortable coming to our community. And so, you know, through time, I think we can take extra steps to, you know, if we are going to rely on word of mouth, the advertisements, and people just joining the Discord or, you know, reaching out to us, then I think it's just going to take a little time, and us having extra focus on how we present ourselves and how we present ourselves as an ally and an open, accepting community. So I think it really just will take a little bit of time.
Yeah. So like I said, if you're hearing this, and I know it's rough for me, a white guy, to be asking for help, but I'm saying I am doing my research on the side, and I am looking into it, but I am all ears if anyone has anything as well outside of that. And as we've stated, everyone is welcome. The other thing that I've always wanted from the start was the ability for the GM to mold their cast, or the players to mold their cast. Any show you see here is not a forced cast. We do open calls, which anyone is willing to and able to join, and then we do separate casting. So even if there was someone who approached me who was like, I want to do this show with you, and I want this specific cast because this cast is diverse and I want to see them, I would say 100%. We are about that. We only ask that you go through the process so that you know the ins and outs, which the process is just an onboarding call with EG to talk about the rules and regulations for being a player. And then if you become a GM, it's just an onboarding call with me, Luca, and EG about how to be a GM. We ask very little of you. We just ask that you uphold our values and you know the technical ins and outs, and that's it. I was seeing if there was questions in the chat, but you guys are.
No, only Princess Bride.
Yeah.
It's all Princess Bride all the way down.
So, my next question, if there's no questions in the chat, is if you had. I'm gonna answer it first too, because I get so many questions about things we want to do. If you had the budget and the how to, what would you want to do with TPK? Now, I'm saying that we never set out to be Critical Role, and we've never really had a vision of doing a studio show, because it doesn't allow for what we've talked about so much. It doesn't allow anyone to join as easily. That being said, I would love to do some traveling TPK stuff. I was 110% going to get us into conventions this year because I have experience of submitting panels and being press and different things at conventions. That didn't work out, so we're doing our own convention. So, that being said, and you guys can answer whatever order you want. Money isn't an issue. What would you want to do at TPK?
Oh man.
I think something really cool would outside of like the like, I guess not the studio aspect, but having like a base of command, like a base of operations place where we can all like basically have a studio where we can all report to and be able to work on stuff there. And have like the like maybe a regular podcast show or whatever, like in person with everyone.
In Texas.
But still, yeah, in Texas maybe. Or
Gross. Bad.
or you all can come to New York one day.
New York rent is too high.
We'll find a way. Wait, you said money isn't an issue.
Yeah, money's no
object.
I shot myself in the foot.
This is the theoretical that you all come to New York and we can have a studio here, or we'll go to LA and we'll go do have like a studio there or something, and like having a base of operations would be really cool to be able to like run this as like a full oiled machine of everyone coming together and everything, and then being able to travel to like cons. Like one really realistic thing that could have happened was like everyone could get go to a convention and get like an Airbnb, and just have like a centralized spot with that, and then we could have like a in con panel type thing and an out of con type thing going on, and things like that would be really cool.
No, that is a great answer and something that I am totally willing to approach 5 years down the line if that is at all possible. I'm gonna just call out the chat real quick. Rent a castle and have a week-long D&D fest will happen someday.
There is a castle.
Someday.
There is a castle around my town that does hold parties.
Yeah, there's a couple different ones. I have this idea in the back of my head of a like TPK high rollers like retreat, which wouldn't be as toxic as it sounds, but if you work in sales, you know that like high rollers is like these people get to go. It would kind of be open to anyone who's been a certain time or whatever. So I have thought of these ideas, but on to the other what people want to do.
Oh, God. A TPK hype house.
Yeah. I feel like my answer's
roll dice.
pretty similar to everybody else's. I think doing some in-person meetups, some in real life games, just to kind of capture that would be phenomenal and very, very fun. I think adding more I don't know how to like phrase it, but we do, one of the great things about TPK is we do a lot of games, and yes, they're streaming, so it's kind of naturally inclined to shows, but moving more towards like the show dynamic, not to set out to be like Critical Role or anything like that, but having a little, I don't know what the right word is, polished content, But at the same time, we just had Luca's totally random one shot, and I cannot tell you how just absolutely rewarding that whole experience was. But just the ability to continue to just do whatever we want. Like, that's all I really want.
This is a loaded question. There are so many things that I want to do.
Everything.
Everything everyone else said is awesome. I oh god. The castle sounds fun. Okay, I think what I want to do, and I'm gonna put this in more of a kind of content I want to see more on the channel, and I wish that we could do this now, but I don't know necessarily how much capacity we have. Is I want to see more, well, kind of more stuff like what Proper Nerdy is about to do. The kind of shows that are not necessarily you playing TTRPG games, but maybe something combined with a one shot. My thought is I would love to see more art of TPK, maybe an art show, painting minis, I don't know, something.
People bring their talents and draw our characters, please.
Yes, please, for the love of God.
Please.
It's the one thing we're missing. But no, that's
fan
what
art,
I want
God
to
damn
see.
it.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Turk, you got anything?
Yeah, I do, because I feel like this is something we've even discussed, just not as like a moonshot idea, but something that's technically doable, even as like a side project for some people is, I feel like we have a lot of ongoing campaigns that people tune into pretty regularly, and not to say let's do Critical Role thing, but having that, yeah, I feel like people also like digesting and going through those shows again. So having kind of like, let's sit down and talk about this. Let's get a player on and just have them scream about this campaign for a few minutes. And, like, even if it's not on TPK itself, having kind of that fun secondary place that you can go to talk about, TPK stuff. And
So like Talks Machina kind of thing, or
yeah,
whatever that was titled.
Obviously, we're not going to get everyone on a couch and do all that, but
That's what you think.
You know who could do that so well?
Did you say Sir Heck? I'm happy to agree with you.
Sir Heck. Sir Heck could be the Brian W. Foster too.
I offered to grow my beard back just so I could look the part, but
I think we've actually mentioned that for Sir Heck as well more than once. I think it started as her doing recap videos for YouTube. But yeah, I think we're all in agreement.
I've talked with her about it. She's definitely down for the idea. Just need someone to keep pushing her along, and I will gladly do that right off the cliff.
One of us.
I'm forcing it. I brought her into this crazy world, and I will keep her here as long as I can. But yeah, no, it's just stuff like that where you can kind of extra dig into all the details that we have and kind of get more community engagement beyond just chat in the Discord and giving people a chance to kind of chill out and talk more. I don't know. I like talking about D&D.
I love the behind the scenes or behind the screen. You know what I mean? What I would love is, and I know this would be challenging, but it's something that I like thought about, is if we could have our DMs do, if like prep sessions, where they can field audience questions as they prep, or like a post session review of like, hey, so this is my approach to these things and this is how I'm doing that. Also, cast discussions where they talk about their theories, because I think on stream during the session it can be really hard to kind of get into it, but kind of talk through what they think the campaign is doing. I would absolutely 110% be into that, because every time I like log off like a Harper's or any session. It's just like, I need to talk about what just happened.
You don't log off of Harper's. You'd have
You
to
never
stay
log
on
off of
3 hours
Harper's.
post-session and just keep screaming.
It's Harper's Hotel instead of yeah.
Right.
So you guys are kind of already dipping your toe into this next question. But to really quickly touch on the prep or like after show type thing, prep streams are really hard in this kind of community because the players really want to go and then you have spoilers. But after the fact, doing that and saying this is how I prepped this episode that we just finished is something super possible we can think about. So the next question is what are really easy things that you want to be doing with TPK that we haven't yet? So mine is, and I might start tomorrow, more talking head type videos on the YouTube. So I have this art and arcana like collector's edition, like huge book thing that I kind of want to do like an unboxing of and kind of talk about it. So I'm probably going to film that soon and see how it goes on the YouTube. And I'm going to write these down so we don't forget them. What are like the things that are easier and more doable that you guys want to be doing that we aren't yet?
I think my answers are kind of linked a bit, these last two. I want to see more. Actually, you know what? We actually talked about this, Cole. Some of the different things that we can do on social media, like the maybe not giveaways necessarily, but like art contests or idea contests, stuff like that, where you can engage a lot of people, and then it also helps us. So,
Are you suggesting we trick our viewers and social media followers into making art of our characters?
No, yes. But they get something. I'm sure they would get something, maybe a shout out at first, and after that, we probably should pull a little money.
Yeah.
No, we definitely pay all of our artists, and all artists get a cut that they asked for any of the merch. Just putting that out there.
Do art for us.
Please.
Besides that, I think I had something, but I completely forgot it.
Oh my gosh, we had the most amazing suggestion in chat. I'd like to see a couple of DMs build a one-shot together on stream, bounce ideas off each other and see what pops out. I love this idea. I am so down for this idea. Please, someone, Luca. Oh my God, Luca, we're doing it. I don't know when, but we're doing that.
Would that be YouTube bouncing ideas off each other if you have the same brain?
No, because we're the same person.
So that means we have one person already between Sarah and Luca.
Yeah, there is a secret show that is hidden behind the curtain that Luca developed. I don't know if she wants me to talk about it, but we'll continue with this question for now. Super easy things that you guys want to see done with TPK that we're not.
Okay, I would like to see the point system and other things kind of have additional options. I don't know what they would be, but just a little more variety and make it so the chat can interact with the game a bit more. And whether that's, requesting an RP moment for a character or, requesting like more narratively inclined things. I think we do have some like helps or hurts, which is great. But just making it so they can actually participate in the narrative, I think that would be rad.
Or sing Shakespearean monologues.
Yes, hell yes.
It is on the agenda that me and Tyrant and some others are probably EG are going to meet and revamp the entire reaction board and channel points. So
now, Griff, I know you're about to attack this teacher, but give us an idea of what's going on in your head right now for at least 30 stanzas.
Just a total monologue. Love it. I think that'd be
I
great.
just need to know this character's deepest, darkest secrets right now. Here's $5.
Oh God.
Here's $50. Tell me your backstory, nerd.
Nice. EG or Turk, you got anything?
Yeah, I got something. Turk, you want to go or am I good?
No, nothing that's not already really being done. I mean, it's just like stuff that I want to do is figure out a bunch of really cool like stream overlay tricks and make stuff look really fancy. But that's on me to figure out. Not so much TPK. So.
All right. Well, this was like easy stuff, right? Easy stuff you want to see happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know how easy this would be, but I would love to see one day a multi-GM, multi-party game, whatever that system is called, or whatever that like game style is called. I know it's
West March.
Yeah, West March. I want to see like a West March style game where like GMs have to work with GMs and parties have to figure things out with possibly other parties and stuff like that. I'd love to see that happen one day. That sounds tough. Actually, I got like 3 things. To thing 2. What was thing 2? Oh, I want to see like maybe the like commissions or just like fan art and stuff like that. I want to see like maybe still frame piece by piece art commissions of like a scene or like an action that happened in a game, or like an animation of a game that happened or something, or just something that can be told as like a story in picture or pictures as like we do things and going on. I'd really love seeing like those kinds of things.
We need to contact Turk's friend, and when we have the funds, pay them to watch an episode and do what they do.
I mean, yeah. I mean, she's super talented. Absolutely. I mean, I can just post her link and we can go to that anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely share it with us.
And then I picked up a third thing while I was thinking of thing 1, but then when I forgot thing 2 and then remembered it, I forgot thing 3. I'll get back to you on that if I remember.
Cool. So I'm gonna rewind a little bit. Some of the improvements and things we've talked about. One of
I remember. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to do for a while. I wanted to do like, I don't have these skills for all this stuff and whatever. But for a while, I wanted to do like collaborative like videos on like just simple stuff. Like what to do, or like how to get into playing D&D, or like what to do when you play D&D, or like the exact amount of dice you need to buy when playing D&D, which is there is no exact amount. You just keep buying them. Like I think little like short clips, videos of like like bam with that, like throughout the community, like pulling a lot of like community members together to play around and make little like one shot topic here, or like two topics here videos. Like that would be really cool. And I think that's easy enough if with enough coordination between people.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to run through as many things as I can real quickly here. So the thing I mentioned from Luca, I'm gonna throw up on the stream here. This is the promo image for it. So you have to just bully Luca into having her Sunday mornings be free. And I will just save any other details for her to talk about, but there's that.
I want it so bad. Please, God, please.
So there was a lot of talk in the chat about more like helping streams and setup streams and DMing streams. And I'll be honest, we used to do like conversation streams more. They did not go well. It was when we were a little smaller, and I'm not too caught up on the analytics too much to where I'm like, oh, if this stream doesn't get 25 viewers the whole time, then I'm canceling it. But when you try to do teaching and conversation streams and things like that, when you go to the chat and you say, what did you think about that? Or what question do you have next? And there's no one there to say anything, it just doesn't work. So if you want to see more things like that, we just need to know when is best and what people want to be there and what they want to learn, and then we can approach that. The very specific question about doing a stream where DMs talk about rules and mechanics and raw and all that, I'm not doing. EG and Brian can take up that request, and if they want to do a show like that, I support it 100%. But I don't care that much about the rules and mechanics, which tortures a lot of people, so it is what it is. But yeah, more panels, more conversations, more things like that we'll definitely do. It's not about getting a ton of viewers. It's just really hard to do a stream like that if there aren't any people also interacting with it, if that makes sense. So, well, the rules are stupid. Okay, I'm gonna YouTube. We definitely are going to get a bigger variety of content on there. It's something we've always wanted to do. I'm going to let Luca plug her teaching Roll20 stuff because she has it on her YouTube channel.
And they are amazing.
Yes.
Check them out. They are phenomenal. Half of my functionality on Roll20 comes from those videos. So watch them, learn stuff.
Yes. So if you want those videos right away, definitely ask Luca. She has them. Yeah, I try to be more of a storyteller than a rules person. But there is a time and place for rules, and they are important in certain aspects because you don't want to break everything. You can always make a podcast instead of a stream. No.
I listen to podcasts about baking. Actually,
I will not personally do a podcast. I've already done it, and anyone who runs a podcast is a saint because it is way harder and more intensive than what we do here.
I would be willing to start a podcast for TPK. Just fielding that. I've been thinking about that for a while now, and I really, really love the podcast feel and the kind of the stuff you can do with a podcast, mainly because of the Adventure Zone. But I mean, you know what? They make it work, and they do it really well. So I mean, anything that we might want to do, you know, in a less visual setting, I could talk to Proper Nerdy, and we can probably get something set up.
Yeah, if there's other people in the community, I support it 100%, but I ran a podcast for about 5 months, and it's really hard work. Like setting up your RSS feed and like audio and getting guests and all that kind of stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm personally just better inclined towards streaming, and streaming is easier to me. But podcasting was like one of the hardest things I ever did. So I'm going to throw it out to you guys for any questions or topics you want to cover. This is just kind of like a whole nebulous panel type thing, impromptu. If anyone has any specific questions on how we do things in the chat, feel free to throw them in.
What are you guys' thoughts on a TPK TikTok?
Well, it's getting banned tomorrow, so.
Getting banned tomorrow.
Yeah.
Also, no.
So
listen, I love TikTok. It's so funny. I see all my TikToks on Twitter because I will not download the app because like cybersecurity. But like, God, there's some great content on TikTok.
There really is.
Before I go down a rabbit hole of, you know, American companies stealing their data versus other companies and all sorts of all that kind of goodness and it being banned, we do have some stuff on TikTok. So Fail posts his stuff on TikTok pretty often. and I post some of our clips on TikTok. It would depend on what you mean for a TPK TikTok. I think what we need more of, if I'm being honest and throwing everyone under the bus right now, is we need more engaged players on social media. Very few of our players do really good social media work. And I'm sorry I'm being harsh right now, it's just the truth. So if there are players who want to make TikToks based around things at TPK, that's honestly the best way that I see it working out. If we had a specific TPK branded TikTok, it would be just us posting our clips, unless we had players submitting skits or jokes or things like that to it, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
I think that would probably like fill into like getting the video ideas that I mentioned earlier. Like you can pull clips from the videos because they're meant to be shorter, more fun things that are like engaging and such. Not like TikTok short, like minute cap, but like the 5 to 10 minutes that you'd want to see.
Yeah, it would require personality, I guess is a better way to put it, to have a specific TPK branded TikTok, unless we just posted clips.
Right.
So if anyone wants to do that, definitely get with me and we can make it happen.
Yeah, let's just wait and see what TikTok turns into, and then we can see what happens.
To get technical with that, I haven't read the explicit details. I've only read people talking about it online, so I haven't done my research yet. But supposedly downloads stop tomorrow, and then the app goes away like November 15th or something. It's okay. I'm gonna try not to get into it. It's a really shitty situation that I'm not gonna get into. But yeah.
So long story short, just make more clips. Make more clips.
Yes, that's actually one really big thing. Make more clips and post them in the Discord and like talk around them, and then we could pull them and use them for all types of promotional content and such. And clips are just really fucking good.
They're so fun.
Yeah.
100%. The reason I started streaming is because I think that playing, like, there are funny things and I want to have them forever. So make clips. They're the best.
Question: when we clip things, does it notify like the TPKs?
No.
Anything?
There's no notification, but you can. But there is like a section on Twitch where you can look at the videos, and then
you can look at the clips.
You can put it as newest, and then you'll see who clipped them, and it'll tell you. It'll have them in order.
Okay.
On the newest.
Because I have clipped a few things, and I just kind of assumed that you knew.
So that's why we say clip them and post them in the Discord.
Right.
In the Discord and other places, yeah.
What if you clipped?
A little more pulling behind the curtain. When anyone clips anything, if you're in our Discord, you can post them in streaming clips. And if I am on a day where I'm like, it's a really good day to post a clip to Twitter or to Instagram, I will look through those and I'll pick one. If there hasn't been any posted, I will go to a GM who recently did a session, and I'll say, are there any moments that should be clipped or clips that you already have that should be posted? And then I'll let them kind of navigate or let me know that way. So I probably should try more often to just sift through the clips that people have done. The problem is sometimes people don't name them anything, so I have no idea what they are, so I would just have to watch them. So if you want tips on how to be a good clipper, clip it, edit it to be the only part that you want if you can, and
perfect length.
Title it what is happening. If you go, you'll notice all of my clips have some kind of title. One that I did last night has magnificent ... possessed ... what now? So that's kind of how I go about naming clips sometimes.
Hey Luca, you can do what I do when I'm streaming, I'll clip it and just keep it in the tab. And then once the stream is all over, I'll go back through and rename them. And it's hilarious because we clip the same shit all the time. All the time.
You can also, there's a widget for adding timestamps throughout the stream for clippable moments.
Mhm.
And then when that stream ends, you can just have a compiled list of timestamps.
Yeah.
But that's only like on streamer end or like any editor's end.
Yeah. Definitely what Sarah mentioned is really good. I do the same exact thing. I'll just hit the clip button, I'll put it up in a tab, and I'll go back and edit it later to make sure that it's just the moment I wanted. I also have a stream deck, which I need to convert to being only for TPK since it's set up for my
Same.
personal channel, and it has a clip button, which will only do the 30 seconds, which is kind of annoying. But I believe if you're a GM, you're already an editor, which means I think you can rename them. Not sure. That's a good test for us to do. But that kind of brings up a conversation of streaming and GMing at the same time. I am a little more attuned to this because I've been streaming for so long that I've gotten used to extreme multitasking. I've noticed a lot of newer GMs, like, they can't keep up with chat or they can't do this or that. So what kind of tips do you guys have for someone if they're a GM who is also streaming?
Get someone else to do it.
I mean, that's the easy answer, right? My suggestion, Luca has it in her Roll20 videos, but try to keep as many things in as few windows as possible, like that you really are drowning in a sea of tabs when you're GMing. So I try to keep my outline in Roll20 so everything is like minimized down to just a couple windows. I also heavily rely on my players to interact with chat and like keep an eye on it and let me know. And yeah, what Lucas said, it's 100% the players carry that burden and they're the best. But just trying to minimize how many different places I need to look, so it's not just everywhere. And really being prepped, really know where my beats are, so when I'm running it and the players are kind of going through the narrative moments, I can look over and I'm not just the whole time.
For me, like the serious answer, I break my stuff up all in different ways. Like, best thing to do, have at least 2 monitors. If you don't have 2 monitors, it's like you're
in for a bad time.
You're like you're playing with fire, but your face is in the embers and you don't know how to pick your head up. So that's like what DMing and streaming with 1 monitor is like. And then outside of that, like, I have 2 monitors, and then I have a tablet that I have sit here. I have a little space right here that it'll sit without blocking anything. And I usually, like, one monitor will be something like, let's say the OBS system that we're using will be 1 monitor, so I can monitor everything: sound levels, CPU percentage, make sure I'm on the right screen and all that stuff. The next monitor might be the what do you call that? The editor view for the Twitch thing. I'll have that up so I can see all my widgets. I can see the status. I can see the bit rate. I can see all that. That'll be right there. And then I'll have extra tabs of, maybe I'll have like the adventure. I play with a lot of physical content. Like the last time when I played Rebels, I have all the physical content. I have a couple of card handouts. I have a book. So I was able to have that to the side of me. And that's just like 1 or 2 less things on my screen. But then that like second screen will have miscellaneous information that I'll need to look up for and all that stuff. I don't know, whatever else might be there, with Zoom behind that screen and not minimized, because then you'll lose all the things and stuff and then you ruin everything. And then I have my tablet. It'll have all the character sheets. It'll have some monsters. It'll have spells. It'll have magic items. And on that tablet, that's all it is. D&D Beyond is the only thing that's open on that thing, and that's all it's running. And then, as long as you kind of like keep yourself segmented in like, this is here, this is here, this is here, and my information is here, then like you can kind of like fixate yourself and organize yourself pretty well. So
yeah, what Sarah said in the chat, I was about to post a link, but it was like a million years long. But yeah, monitors you can buy monitor mounts for that can
Seriously, guys.
Yeah, it can like take like right now I don't have 3 monitors set up, but I'm going to. I just have 2 monitors standing on my desk, and if I were to switch them to a monitor mount, I could have so much more space.
I know that it's an investment, but holy cow, it is so worth it. I recently made this switch over, and it's like night and day difference. Like I have so much more room and functionality. I can move monitors where I need them to be depending on what I'm doing. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Are we still good? Because I think my internet like
we're good.
Just
I refreshed.
Good. It looked like it froze for a
tiny
second.
bit, but I think it's not going up. Now that we've thrown Turk under the bus for not having 2 monitors.
All
right, I have 2 monitors. It's just they're not. The second one isn't mine all the time. Okay.
Okay. What is?
It just isn't mine.
What is your answer, Turk?
So advice. I don't know if I would call it old school, but I do so much written down, and just, you know, I have books and things like right here. I kind of have like a small area for things, which thank God it's getting cold, because I've had so many times where I've been looking at my notes and the fan will just blow and I'll just lose my place, but it's fine because that's why you learn improv. So I always have a lot of notes. That takes a lot off the screen. Also because my internet is like just the sword of Damocles above my head. I cut as much off of my screen and internet as possible, just to make sure nothing ever goes wrong. So really it's the stream software, the second Roll20 window, so I can run that and kind of control everyone's looking, and then just Roll20 and whatever other relevant, 1 or 2 relevant tabs that I might need on my side. But yeah, usually just be ready for things to go wrong, because internet is a fickle mistress. It will turn on you at the worst times, or just not be there like mine was. So yeah, I guess also go back to EG's point. If you can't stream because your internet's bad, find someone who can.
It's true.
And then
Tyrant, did you answer that? I can't.
I don't really have an answer because my internet's bad. I have a Mac. I don't stream, so my biggest
How dare you?
The easiest thing, like if I'm gonna DM a game, I have to have someone else streaming for me, and so it's, you know, it's nice to be able to, like, I think the last time EG wasn't even in the game, and yet he stuck around for 5 hours and just helped stream.
Like 6.5 hours.
Okay, yes, like 6.5 hours.
On the mention of internet, if you need help improving your internet and you have money to improve your internet, I can maybe help you. I might know like a couple things or something. I might have access to engineers. So
I can perhaps arrange for you to steal the internet from your neighbors.
When in doubt, like you really just need to look for like fiber optic setup. Like with whatever company you could go with, is if they have like a fiber option, then that hosts like the most reliable like a stable internet.
Yeah,
I believe, because usually then like fiber cables will kind of offer like a direct line to your house. Most companies that, at least what I ran into, I did a couple different ones. They really don't have like singular pathways, and everything is shared at the pole. So let's say you have 1,000, whatever the measurement is, you have 1,000, but it stops at the pole of 1,000, then it starts to get split between all of the services there. it's a like they don't tell you that, and they kind of fuck you over for that. And there's really no way for you to find out until you do a couple of diagnoses on your system, where like then you find like chatter on the line where it's like your shit's being pulled away from your house, and you go from 30 up and down to like 0.3 up and down, and it's like, why is this happening? So a lot of times you really just got to find out what your ISP is doing to you, and then just go from there, because it's a fucking nightmare with most ISPs.
Yeah, if you we have a lot of players and GMs who have a situation where they don't want to run a 100-foot Ethernet cable. I 100% always will say never run a stream on Wi-Fi. But I understand if people can't, and we have a lot of people who do. If you have any issues, if you're in the Discord, I can kind of help out. But improving your Wi-Fi, whether it be like making a mesh network or just buying some WAPs, takes money. So be prepared to make an investment. It's wireless access point, by the way.
How could you?
I was gonna say,
I had to bring it back.
sorry,
around.
you pay for your WAPs?
All right.
Come on.
We are supportive of anyone in the industry. We do not shame. We have about 40 minutes slotted out remainder. But we will go about as long as we have questions for. So this is a really good moment. If anyone has any questions in chat, throw them at us. My room is getting very hot because I've been in here for so long. So there were, when we were talking about future of TPK and things we want to do, we kind of talked about what we want, but we didn't, and we touched a little bit about what's coming, but the things we talked about were like this month or next month. So some cool things that we've been working on behind the scenes is I did promise that we will have a t-shirt of some kind by next year.
Nice.
If you've heard me have this conversation, I am very picky about it and very in the weeds and details about how that works. Could we have slapped a logo on a t-shirt and had it out and pushed it? Yes. I don't want to do that. So I'm talking like a art commissioned, like awesome style t-shirt.
Like a death saves type thing.
Not that great. We don't have that much money.
No, we're not selling $1,000 shirts, Tyrant. Relax.
But I wish. If I could find a good artist that did art like that, I am super into that in the future because that's totally my style. I own like 2 of their shirts and a windbreaker. So the other thing is you might see us switch over to Foundry within the next, I would say probably January or February is more likely of a target, but you might see some hints of it here and there.
Roll20 doesn't step the game up, then
in the future. Very excited about Foundry. I spent like an entire morning researching it one day. Is there anything like in the next year that you guys know that's coming that I haven't mentioned?
Not that I can think of. I think the Foundry is a big one. I've also invested, and this weekend will be a lot of diving in to see if we can actually build that out and switching over, because there's so many features that are so cool and I just really want to use them, but what if I'm not smart enough? But Foundry is dope. I think Cole, I know you had mentioned like TPKCon being like a more regular thing, but I seem to recall you talking about maybe a smaller sized event. Like my corporate is showing Q2 2021.
Yeah, so I hate myself, as I mentioned earlier. And before TPKCon started, I was like, what if we did a spring TPKCon? So, gotta give me a couple days of break. After that, I'll probably be like, yeah, let's freaking do it. So, if we want to talk about TPKCon in general and running a virtual conference, there's definitely a lot of things that I want to do different and better next time. I will say, having done a lot of conventions and done panels at conventions, this is still the best organized one I've ever participated in. So, congrats to all of us. I will also say,
Yay.
for reasons that I won't mention, I was thrown into a lot more than I thought. So I've been in this room for like so many hours this weekend, and my knees hurt and my body hurts. But it's been great. It's been a blast. The chat has been amazing. Really good reception. I'm really excited for how it's going to end with the baking and hats off to Gygax and all of that. So doing 2 next year, maybe.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
Will it happen
Wait,
again?
wait. Here's a thought.
100%.
So when we get our in-con panels, are we gonna have TPKCon around the time that there are other cons? And are we gonna blend them together, or are they all gonna be separate things?
So does anyone, before I get into that, because I don't want to talk too much and just have you guys listening to me, before I get into to IRL cons, does anyone have anything else to say around this TPKCon and doing one in the spring of next year?
Get hype.
Yeah, man, it's been so fun. It's all the different panels and events. Like, it's been really cool to get to talk about people's ideas and see where they're coming from, the similarities, the differences. The one shots have been phenomenal. It's been, guys, I'm not kidding. Like, last night was a fucking so good. But I'm really looking forward to the baking one as well. Luca revealed her character name last night, and I'm so ready. I'm so ready.
Oh yeah, her character name is super great for the next one shot.
Yeah, just a couple things. Luca put in the chat. Harper season 2 will be early next year, I believe, if not very, very, very late this year. I'm not entirely sure. I know she has a book to read, so. And then also another thing I'm super excited about is Luca's Curse of Stride campaign. That I don't know when this is going to happen, but she put it in the chat. So
Curse of Stride comes to TPK.
Yeah, that'll be a thing. So back to TPKCon, I think if I want to be open, I took on a little too much personally. So what I would like to see for the next one is more different moderators than just me and Luca, which means that person streaming. Also, thank you so much, Proper, for stepping up and being like, no, I'm going to stream my stuff, because I was going to do it for him because he's newer. I'm so glad he told me no. Appreciate you.
We stand.
The other thing is we've been planning this for a super long time, and we might have put signups out a little too early when things weren't snowballing as much. All of what can be in TPKCon was open to the whole community. Anyone could have submitted a panel, and only 2 people, well, 3 people other than myself did in a kind of way. I thought there would be a lot bigger reception to people doing it, but I know a lot of people are really scared for this. So what I'm saying is if you're interested in having a conversation that you would like to hear or talk about being during a convention, that was stupid grammar, definitely when we see panel signups come out next year, throw them at us. The worst thing that could happen is we say no. The best thing is you do it and you get to talk about it. So IRL conventions, I've mentioned that I've done them before, so it was something I wanted to bring to TPK. I don't know if I've actually mentioned this, but I actually not necessarily wrote I wrote up a pitch for Las Vegas Next Level or Level Up Expo or something like that, and I submitted it to them for live D&D, and it was gonna have me and my comedian friend and another streamer, Charlie Manders, shout out to her, I guess, Utah streamer, and then one of my voice acting friends as well that runs the Cracked Brain podcast. So it was gonna be like a live D&D show, and then COVID happened. So things like that are things that I would totally be open to submitting TPK for at other conventions. I 100% want to get a group of people willing to just go to a ton of conventions, and I will do the work to submit panels, to get us on them, to get press credentials or panelist credentials, whatever we need. We just can't do that right now, so unfortunately that hasn't happened yet. Doing a TPKCon in real life, I'm probably like way too in my own head, but I think we could do it. I think we could pull it off. I just, to give you an experience of things that have happened to me before at other conventions, is I've been part of a convention where the final lineup for panels and scheduling was released the night before the first day of panels. We didn't do that, although we had last minute changes. We've always been planned super far in advance and had everything going. So I think we could pull it off if we plan super far in advance as much as possible. I've also had it where we've showed up to the convention and they didn't have microphones in the room, so that was fun. So like I said, maybe I'm just too much in my own head, but I think we could do it. A huge conference might be a whole nother thing, but yeah, definitely PAX, a lot of the, like, a Vegas convention, TwitchCon, whatever else we can really get into when there's no longer a pandemic are definitely things that I will be working on.
Yeah, PAX
I'm very
is
excited
pretty
at this news.
Yeah, well, I mean, you would have already been doing it if someone, didn't have a pandemic going on.
Let's not get into it.
Yeah. Cool. So as I said, this is about gonna go as long as we have questions in the chat. Otherwise we'll make way for the baking panel and then baking one shot. Do you guys have anything else that's kind of come up that you'd like to touch on?
TPK accessories.
I mean,
dice vaults,
yeah.
Dice rolling trays.
Are you gonna get me into my whole rant about products and how products
are rough? Listen, I get it.
I know.
I'm right there with you.
I just want to
rough.
I just want to roll our stuff in our stuff,
yeah,
while playing our stuff.
Honestly, dice might actually be one of the easier ones, to be honest. Whether I have ADHD, I don't know if you can tell or anyone knows, but I do this thing where I get super into a million things, and I'll hyper focus on one thing and then I'll drop it, and I'll hyper focus on another thing and then I'll drop it. It's very lucky that streaming and D&D have not been dropped yet. Luca's ready to take over TPK when I do.
Waiting in the wings.
I really want to start making my own dice, so if I make them, that's 100% doable. I once knew how to screen print. It's been like 10 years, but I could probably figure it out again.
I got you, fam.
You just drag.
So t-shirts. I want to set up my own at-home screen printing setup eventually. But if we're talking about merch, we don't plug it very often. I will be the first to admit that I am the owner of a company that, as a person, I hate making money. So Tyrant will yell at me a lot about that. We do have a really good design that's new though, and I'm gonna load this up if you want to talk about it, Sarah, and I'll post the link in the chat here in a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this came from a between session RP moment from the Harper's campaign between Vildani Hunt, my character, and proper nerdy's Estelle. That legitimately like made me tear up in real life. I have no shame about this. It was very, very good. But we have Be a Terror merch, I guess. 100% I will be having a mug and a mask because I can't not.
So
But
I think Redbubble is down.
amazing.
So what perfect timing. The mask.
Perfect.
Land. They're sabotaging us.
It at least won't let me go to our page. The mask is really good, actually. So I left it. Okay, cool. I had to go around. It won't let me log in, but I went around a different kind of way. So we do have merch, much like anything else. No one is paid directly from the merch. It just goes back into the TPK bank that sits there for Zoom, buying anything GMs need, and to go far back about being a polished, having polished shows and stuff and audio. If we have players or GMs who have committed time to us, we're going to use that bank, to help people get a webcam if they need, a better headset if they need, things like that. So if you've ever wondered what you're supporting if you buy merch, that's what it is. I don't deposit any of that into my own account or anything. So, but yeah, if you scroll down to the bottom, there's the Be a Terror design, which is really good. And the website, this is another future thing. The website will be upgraded end of this year or early next year, and e-commerce might switch over to entirely on the website. My hope is that we can get a Shopify shop set up. I've worked with Shopify. I've worked in digital marketing, so I kind of know Shopify. It's just money. To have a Shopify shop and to have products, it takes money. To get art to sell, it takes money. All these kinds of things. So
Money.
yes. Oh, it's getting so hot in here. All right, I've talked too much.
Freezing.
Someone else rant for a minute about something.
Something, just in general.
I mean,
TPK
Yes.
related.
Anything. I know we have.
What?
Oh, sorry. I'm just
What?
gonna jump in really
No,
quick.
no, no,
I
no,
know,
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
for it. You actually have a
I know next week we have J.K. Madigan running Morkborg. We have a lot of different systems that are coming up from GMs, keepers, all the various titles that they own. But if chat or anybody here wants to see more content, I know JK was talking about developing a new series, maybe based around indie TTRPGs, as kind of a review and how to play, which is super exciting. And I hope that he does that. But if there are any systems that you guys want to see, I know right now we're pretty heavily leaning towards D&D 5e, but there's a lot of really fun systems. So if there's anything you want to see, let us know. Talk about it in the Discord, because I know we have a lot of folks here that would definitely love to run a different kind of game.
Yeah.
Myself included. Dungeon World is calling my name. So.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Morkborg because I thought about it while you guys were talking earlier, but I forgot by the time. So yeah, Morkborg is gonna be wild.
All of Cthulhu was calling my name.
Yeah, we always
You might have to make a sanity check for that.
we always set out to be more than just D&D. That's why a lot of the Discord and stuff is branded like GM or TTRPG or otherwise. Yeah, okay, cool. If we don't have anything else that the chat has questions about, we can start getting to wrapping up here. If you have any last minute questions, throw them in the chat. Yeah, TPKCon's been great. I thank you all for being in the chat, and I thank everyone for taking so much of their time on a Friday and Saturday to join in on some panels and one-shots. The hats off to Gygax panel and D&D baking one-shot starts here at 1 p.m. PST, which is 2 MST, 3 CST, and 4 EST.
Best time.
Thank you.
But yeah, I DM stuff and do other stuff with TPK. If there's anyone out there that wants to know about how we do social media and all that kind of strategy and how did we run ads to get players and things like that, those are all things we can entertain at another time. But that's it from me for the moment. If you want to say anything, Tyrant.
What, like closing remarks or
Anything.
Oh, just anything?
Anything at all. And if you want to say closing remarks.
Oh, okay. Turk, drum solo.
What?
Just wanted to see what he did.
Oh, I got my steps in there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, I'm super excited to see where TPK continues to head towards. I think we have an incredible cast and crew of fun and amazing people that are working towards a pretty common goal. Obviously, we just talked about a bunch of like the singular stuff that we are looking forward to, want to do, maybe fever dream-ish. But honestly, I think since I've been here, we've grown so much. We've grown so much. I think when I joined, how many DMs do we have? Probably
5 or 6.
5 or 6, and now we have
like
over
15.
Yeah, 10 to 15. I mean, we're growing so quickly, and it's so awesome to see, and the quality of content keeps getting better and better. And now we have TPKCon, which is so cool. I never in a million years would have expected to be on a convention panel. So yeah, I just thank you guys so much for Cole. Thank you so much for creating this. Thank you all for being the incredible people that you are. I can't wait to continue on this path with you.
Such a beautiful man with such beautiful words. EG?
Hey, this is the not as beautiful man with the much less
follow that up.
good
God.
words.
Godspeed.
Yeah. Kind of like all my sign-offs for the game. So to TPK, you heard what the other person said. Do the thing. I don't know. Yeah, we're doing like really great things over here, and like, who knew that this could even be like where we came to be over the years, or like from the beginning, and like from the beginning. Yeah, it's like pretty awesome. Not many people get the chance to be part of something like this, and it's really cool. Yeah, so to TPK.
Over to me, man. Hi, I'm Oserex Franco. I'm just gonna resonate a lot of the things that have already been said. TPK is a phenomenal community. I'm incredibly grateful to be a part of it and get to play games alongside such incredibly positive, wonderful people. I as a streamer, you kind of get sucked into several discords, and I have to say, like, our discord's by far the best experience I've ever had in getting actually involved in a community. So if you're looking for a place to talk about, TTRPGs and make friends and see very good memes, highly recommend the Discord. Stay tuned for all the TPK stuff. I mean, it's absolutely buck wild, and such a fun ride. Huge kudos to Cole and Luca Locke both. Like, good God, like the amount of time and effort that's been put into making TPK what it is. I see you. We see you. We appreciate everything that you've done to make this be successful. I know personally, like literally, would not be here if it were not for both of your efforts. So thank you so much for creating this space that I can tell my silly stories and make new friends. So it's friggin' awesome, guys.
Yeah. God, there's a lot to follow up here. Okay, we got this though. So yeah, I've been and will continue to be Turk until someone tells me to stop. And if you're sitting in that chat right now and you're like me, and you don't have a lot of IRL friends who want to play D&D or that other crazy system, or you have some weird third-party book that's only partly written in English and half in arcane scrawlings, but you think, hey, I can run this and tell a really good story, 100% come to TPK, pitch that idea, because I guarantee you'll find at least 5 other people who are like, oh yes, of course, I also have that tome. Does yours scream in the night at you as well? And you'll have that moment, and it's going to be beautiful, and you're going to find people who want to play the game the same way you do, who want to put in the work, who maybe don't want to put in the work. They just want to hang out and have fun. Whatever style of game, whatever type of game you want to run, whatever kind of people you want to hang out around, except for bad people. We don't have those.
We don't have those.
Unfortunately, we are
Filter
out of
those
bad.
out.
Unfortunately, we are out of bad people. You have to go looking in the trash.
I'm sorry, due to the pandemic, we're at a shortage of bad people. The factory hasn't been producing them.
Exactly.
That should
yeah.
be our new slogan. Come to TPK.
Okay.
We don't have bad people.
We soon run out.
Severe
Yeah.
shortage of bad peeps.
Sorry, we're plumb out of it. But yeah, TBK is amazing, and my life would not be the same without it right now. It has really just been everything I needed this year, in general, in my life. And yeah, so thank you guys for putting this all together, and thank you for everyone for supporting us through everything. Y'all are amazing.
So, Mr. Rogers, he came in here right as I was going to start talking
Oh, do we have to do a bad table?
about you specifically. Serious and not serious, but also serious at the same time. I guess since the outros became so heartfelt, I'm gonna keep it up. Like you guys have said, all I did was build the structure, and all I do is post on social media, and that's about it. You guys bring the stories, and you guys have brought in other players and friends, and your amazing brains. I've been like incredibly blown away. I used to play D&D and think it was just a time to bullshit with friends and like fuck around and grill on the barbecue, and we never really did anything serious, and you guys completely warped my entire brain. Sarah, your Bard's refrain has been like just insane. Like I don't even know how you do it. Like e.g. like Humblewood, and your dedication to like the rules and raw and just all your knowledge has just been so helpful and amazing. And Tyrant, your brain, whatever's going in on there is always impressing me. Like I am a very like horror oriented person, and you're I feel like the only person close to my level. Like I was describing like Viscera and stuff yesterday, and everyone was like, "Who is this monster?" And I know Tyrant would be like, "Yeah." So
yeah.
Turk, your fucking accents. Like I don't want to reduce you to that, but I mean, come on, like it has to be said. Like you are amazing at what you do with characters, and it just impresses me every day. Luca and Fail and everyone else who's been there if I needed to vent or to just whatever, or help or step in. You guys are amazing. For all the designs and everything, I owe Luca. Like, if I ever win the lottery, I'm just gonna have to tell my girlfriend, I'm sorry. I have to give this random lady on the internet, you're not that, but I'm just saying, like, $20,000, you know, I just have to. But on to Mr. Rogers and like Sir Heck and freaking everyone in the chat, proper, like Dev, everyone in the community, and everyone who comes to shows that they're not in and hypes it up and talks and does the channel points and things like that and supports the show. Like, absolutely amazing. You're all amazing. I'm super glad to have you. I'm glad you joined our community. And I would love to see more. I think what's really special is it's not very often that you can interact with the cast of shows as openly and available as you can at TPK. And so if you have questions or feedback or comments or whatever about any shows, I'd love to see it. That's something I'd actually love to see more. If you've watched a show and just felt like it would be annoying for you to talk about all the things that you liked or the interesting things that you picked up on, go ahead and flood us with them. I'm
Please
more than
do.
about it. So
Please do.
we are here for you to interact with, and you never know when you can help build the story as well. So I think that's about it. We're going to kind of end here, and I told you when the hats off to Gygax is starting. Is that in an hour and a half, right? Is that the right? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Something around there. So stick around for that. It'll be super amazing.
Get hype. I had to translate stuff.
Yeah, and
Hell
just
yeah.
thank you guys all for being the amazing people that you are.